Hey everyone, my name is Max Italiander, and today I'll be doing a literature review on the topic of relaxation. But what is relaxation? Well, relaxation is the ability to manage stress, physical energy, and arousal during high pressure situations. In athletes, relaxation is used to get us out of that natural fight or flight response that starts when the sympathetic nervous system is activated. Using relaxation strategies, the mental and physical symptoms of the fight or flight response are reduced, and the body and mind are able to function as one system. Sounds great, right? But how does the body respond when we relax? Well, as you may be aware, when relaxed, there can be a decrease in heart rate, blood pressure, muscle tension, and anxiety. But that's really not all that we see. There may also be increases in endorphin release, your digestive system and immune system may work better, and most likely, you'll be able to sleep better. These are just a few of the reasons that we all need to find the best ways for our bodies to relax. But wait, what are different types of relaxation and how can we implement them? Well, there are three types of relaxation. There's total relaxation, rapid relaxation, and cued relaxation. Total relaxation is exactly as it sounds. It's the kind of relaxation that allows you to achieve that maximal relaxation state by giving yourself as much time as you could possibly need to just relax. Rapid relaxation is also pretty much how it sounds. It's a short relaxation that's optimal for athletes at practices or competition. It could be as simple as taking one diaphragmatic breath and saying a cue word to put yourself in the proper mental state. Then there's cued relaxation. This is kind of a link between total and rapid relaxation, as this type of relaxation uses a chosen cue word to help trigger a state of relaxation using total relaxation techniques. To do this properly, all that you really have to do once you're trained in doing it is say a cue word as you exhale and focus on that relaxed feeling. So now, what do we know about the types of relaxation and how do they help us? So now that we know what types of relaxation there are, how do they help us? Well, total relaxation lowers chronic stress levels while increasing both muscle recovery and quality of sleep. It also helps develop rapid relaxation skills, and it's the strategy that you need to learn first before you learn rapid or cued relaxation, because if you can't achieve that maximal relaxed state by giving yourself as much time as necessary, then your body won't understand how to do it quicker. The more that you practice it, the faster you'll be able to do it. Rapid relaxation lowers acute stress levels. It reduces muscle tension, increases enjoyment, conserves energy, and it controls arousal. Then there's cued relaxation. Cued relaxation allows us to get a deeper state of relaxation using those total relaxation techniques, but it really does get us there much faster. It can be used before, during, or after competition without issue, and can be the quickest way to relax once mastered. Again, all that you really have to do is say a cue word as you exhale, and you should be able to get into that relaxed state. So, what are some strategies for relaxation? Well, there's a few. The first one is diaphragmatic breathing. This is a very basic strategy that most of us seem to think that we know. To do so, all you have to do is fill your lungs fully, inhaling through your nose, pause, and then exhale through your mouth. Another strategy is imagery. This one is personally the hardest for me, as it's when you imagine being in your happy place and really have to visualize it. This strategy is based on the idea that while we can't always change our surroundings, we can change what we see in our mind. This method can also be really helpful if you need to change your perception on a stressful situation by just breathing and imagining that you're on the other side. There's also PMR, or progressive muscle relaxation. This is a more elaborate strategy created by Jacobson in 1938. It can be extremely effective, and over time, it's been modified extensively. This method is based on the idea that tensing your muscles will fatigue them, prompting a deeper state of relaxation once you allow them to relax. Essentially, pick a muscle group, tense those muscles up for a few seconds, and then release them all at once to give your body a rush of that relaxed feeling that you get when you just let your muscles go. This feeling will generally last up to around a minute. And then along with PMR, there's self-directed relaxation. This is one of those modifications of PMR, and it's a much shorter version that emphasizes using diaphragmatic breathing, as it's focusing on a muscle group and then relaxing the muscles and focusing on that feeling and your breathing. Finally, we tend to use music to relax. This has become a very popular way to relax, especially with all the electronics that we have. Whether it's Mozart, K-pop, or heavy metal, music's a great way that we can use to release stress and change our mood. It can also be used to keep tempo during exercise. Now, I'm going to play a clip from Spider-Man Far From Home of Peter fighting Mysterio.
Your lives are over, Beck.
This certainly isn't ideal, but I have contingencies.
Edith? Just give me the glasses.
You want these? Come and get them.
Come on, Peter Tingle.
Why aren't these drones firing?
You're in the strike zone. The chance of getting hit is...
Fire all the drones now!
As we see, Peter is in what most of us would consider a very stressful situation. He's pulled into an illusion and needs to fight drones that he can't see. But luckily, he has what was dubbed Peter's Tingle to help him out. Peter needs to focus so that he can sense where the drones are, and to do so, he takes a deep breath to really just clear out his mind and relax. While doing so, he also says, "Come on, Peter Tingle," which is him talking himself up and helping himself build the confidence that he needs to sense where the drones are. As we saw, Mysterio doesn't use any relaxation techniques. Instead, he freaks out and gets completely flustered when he realizes that his drones aren't going to help him beat Peter. And, in the end, Peter was extremely successful in defeating his opponent. So, the first article that I found proves this exact point. The aim of the study was to find correlation between performance and relaxation techniques. Through asking 122 athletes to fill out some questionnaires, they were able to find that there is evidence of increased performance when relaxing. In fact, there was statistically significant evidence that performance was increased when using any of the 4 methods used for the questionnaire. While all 4 showed this increase, those in charge of the study discussed how each method of relaxation is effective for different situations. They talked about how all 4 increased performance by lowering stress levels, and they talked about that imagery was used in multiple forms. They talked about it being used in CDs, DVDs, audio, and self-imagery, and really just allowing players and athletes to focus on something that made them happy, whether that be music or imagining themselves in their happy place, to get themselves relaxed. They also talked about how meditation was used to relax the mind and body, but also to increase concentration. They listed multiple forms of meditation, including chakra, mudra, tai chi, and Zen meditation, along with many others, to help explain that there are multiple ways that you can meditate and get these enhanced qualities that we look for when we go to meditate. They talked about how breathing was extremely helpful in both solo and team sports, and they discussed that it's the simplest technique. But they did go on to say that while it's the simplest, many people in the athletic community specifically don't know how to properly utilize breathing techniques to increase their relaxation. The last method they talked about was PMR. They said it was a powerful technique as it has many benefits when done properly and can reduce respiration, blood pressure, muscle tightness, and negative thoughts, all by just tightening and then relaxing your muscles. The next study looked at using relaxation to lower anxiety levels. The aim was to determine if soft tissue massage techniques would be more effective than Jacobson's progressive muscle relaxation when attempting to reduce psychophysical tension. The study split 90 participants into two groups, and they found that while both were extremely successful in reducing anxiety levels, the decrease of anxiety from the soft tissue group was much more significant than that of the progressive relaxation group. They go on to talk about how both are effective and can be used to reduce anxiety, but that soft tissue just caused more of the similar effect that they were looking for as what you would get in psychotherapy. It was also noted that since Jacobson's does work, it was recommended for use if you don't have access to another person for a soft tissue massage. The third article looked at the relationship between the anxiety of athletes and coaches. The aim of the study was to learn more about the relationship between competitive anxiety and performance for both the coach and the athlete. In the study, 540 players and 60 coaches from futsal teams answered a questionnaire, a checklist, and a 15-question sport anxiety test. The results show that there is a positive relationship between anxiety levels of coaches and their athletes, and they go into a lot more detail in the discussion on why this is the case. In this discussion, they mentioned that the anxiety of a coach changes based on the performance of athletes. It was also noted that when the coach is supportive, it helps relax the athletes, which will decrease the athlete's anxiety. This decrease in anxiety will allow the athlete to play better. It also mentions that an athlete's anxiety increases when they know that they're less experienced in the sport than their opponent. They also made sure to note that the higher an athlete's anxiety, the lower their performance, which increases the coach's anxiety, and when the coach was anxious, it made them seem less supportive, which would then stress out the players more, further increasing the player's anxiety and just furthering the cycle, which really caused players and coaches to look at the ways that they support each other, because when one was anxious, it made the other anxious. But how does all of this relate to itself? Well, the articles all have some overarching implications. All three relate to people and the effect that relaxation can have on your mental state and your body. From the clip, along with the first and third articles, we see that when relaxed, you can reach your peak performance. We see that the second article, that there are other relaxation methods that can't be done alone, that may be more effective, but that the ways to calm yourself down and relax when you're alone are still extremely effective, especially once mastered. We also see from the third study that our anxiety and stress can increase the levels of anxiety and stress in others. But what does it all mean? How can this help us in our daily lives? Well, we all know that relaxation techniques are powerful, and they can give us advantages that we may not even realize. Just look at Peter as he takes a second to breathe and talk himself up before going into battle with Mysterio. That focus gained is important and should remind us that we can benefit from taking a breath before entering a stressful situation, or even when we're in the middle of one. From the articles, we see that we can lower our stress and anxiety levels in multiple ways, and that the more we practice relaxation, the better and faster we'll be able to relax. We also learned that anxiety is contagious, especially in team sports. When one player shows anxiety, the rest of the team could start to become anxious as well, decreasing their performance and increasing the chances that whatever the competition is will end up in a loss. Likewise, when one player is relaxed and seems relaxed to the rest of the team as they go into the game, other players will become more relaxed as well. In the end, we really need to teach each other these methods of relaxation so that we can all achieve our highest levels of performance when we go into any situation. We're all different, and our bodies respond differently to every single relaxation strategy. So now I ask you, what works for you? Do you know? And if you don't, then try to find out, because it really will improve your life. And here are my resources.